September 24th, 2024. My name is Maya.
And I'm Caitlin. Welcome back to your local DSN.
U.S. News: Hispanic Heritage Month is marked annually in the United States from September 15th to October 15th. The observance honors the histories, cultures, and contributes of Hispanic and Latin American communities. The theme for this year's celebration is Pioneers of Change, shaping the future together. It highlights the achievements of individuals paving the way for our future generations.
In world news, hundreds of fans from around the world gathered at the National Building Museum in Washington, D.C. to witness the spectacular fall of over 100,000 dominoes. The colorful structure took Lily Havish 10 days to set up. It included elaborate patterns, spirals, and even a domino recreation of the Mona Lisa. The massive display was toppled in just about 8 minutes. The arrangement used edged neon tiles that are built for knocking down.
In local news, fall pictures are this Thursday. These pictures will be in the yearbook. Remember to dress nice and give your best smile. Now let's go over to Jade and Emma with This Week in History.
This Week in History. My name is Jade.
And I am Emma. This Week in History, on September 24th, 1968, CBS airs the first episode of 60 Minutes, a show that would become a staple of the American media landscape.
And in 1970, immediately following The Brady Bunch, ABC premiered a program called The Partridge Family. The Partridge Family was a musical sitcom about a mother who starts a garage band with her 5 children.
In 1957, The West Side Story opened at the Winter Garden Theater on Broadway.
In 1779, John Adams was chosen by the Continental Congress to lead peace talks with Great Britain.
See you next week
on This Week in History. Now let's go over to Alan and Jace with sports.
Welcome to Sports News. My name is Alan.
And I'm Jace. In baseball news, the Diamondbacks will be completing a 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants this week. On Friday, they will be starting a 3-game series against the San Diego Padres. Let's go D-backs.
In football news, the Arizona Cardinals took on the Detroit Lions this past Sunday. Take a look at the score. They'll be up against the Commanders in Washington this Sunday.
Tonopah Valley varsity football will be at St. John Paul II Catholic this Thursday. Come out to Avondale to cheer them on. Let's go Phoenix.
That is all for today.
See you next week on Sports News.
Now let's go over to Mrs. Dirksen and Mrs. Huggins with the weekly update.
Hello, Desert Sunset, and welcome back for another edition of Desert Sunset News, DSN. We are excited to be here with you again, and again, all these exciting things happening in Desert Sunset. There's never a dull moment, Mrs. Huggins, never a dull moment.
Not at all. You'll see me running around campus a lot.
So, boys and girls, this week we have a lot of things, like we mentioned, going on. We have fall pictures, which are on Thursday. So I want to remind you to make sure you're dressed just right, your hair is done just right. That is the picture for the yearbook. That's going to go in the yearbook for them that day.
Also on Thursday is our first quarter art showcase. So all of those students who have been in art this first quarter, they're going to get to show off all of the amazing artwork they've been doing with Miss French. And Sissy's Fixings is going to be our food truck that's going to be on campus, available for families to purchase some good, yummy food.
That's right.
Their menu looked amazing.
It does look good. And so that's 5 to 6, boys and girls. So bring your parents, bring your friends, family members, grandma, grandpa. They'd all want to see your work. We can't wait to see it hanging up. It's going to be displayed in the cafeteria. It's going to look great. It's really
Absolutely.
Great.
And then on Friday is our Citizen of the Month lunch. So all of our teachers have chosen a Citizen of the Month for the month of September. And super exciting, for the very first time, we're calling it their families and inviting their families to come join them for that lunch on the stage with us.
That's going to be fun. Dessert. I don't know what it is yet. It's a surprise.
I know.
That's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. And then, boys and girls, as we wrap up the week, it is the end of the quarter. Can you believe it? We are 1/4 of the way through the school year already. So the quarter ends on Friday. So I know that this week you're working hard to get those last minute things in and any retakes done and all that stuff so your teachers can get those grades in for you. And then the following week, That's when report cards will be printed, and one of my favorite times of the year is when your parents get to come to school. So they're going to be coming to meet with your teachers for parent-teacher conferences and just hear about all the amazing things that you've been learning and how you've been growing this quarter and how they can help support you.
Yep, and those conferences will be October 2nd and 3rd. And just a reminder for everyone, those days will be early release at 11:15 so we can have time for those conferences. Yep, excellent. And then that Friday, October 4th, is our fall break. You get to make some fun plans with your family, do something outdoors. The weather's been really nice lately.
Has been nice, finally
Yeah.
cooling down. And then the other thing is, don't forget, you will be getting, I think it's next week, your October reading bingo. So that's what your homework is for the month of October, and you can do it even when we're on break, by the way. So spend time reading, choose a favorite book, go to the library, go to the bookmobile, find something fun online to read, but just we want to make sure that you are reading.
And speaking of books, we're going to have a book fair here next week during parent-teacher conferences. It's also going to be open on Monday, like a very special event on Monday. We don't normally have school, but the book fair will be open, so you can come and pick out some new books.
That'll be great, because like if your parents, can't get here on the other days, it'll be super fun. All right, well, that's all we have for you. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Ms. Dirksen and Mrs. Huggins. Now let's go over to Timothy and Riley with entertainment news.
Welcome to Entertainment News. I'm Timothy.
And I'm Riley.
Check out The Wild Robot in theaters this Friday, a DreamWorks animation about the discovery of self and thrilling examination of bridges between technology and nature.
Check out a newly released book, The Fly Who Loves Space. Written by Lauren Sanchez. Flynn is a fly with big dreams. School isn't easy for Flynn and daydreaming of becoming an astronaut. One day, while exploring a nearby rocket company, Flynn stumbles onto a rocket ship and into the biggest adventure of a lifetime.
That's all for this week.
See you next time on Entertainment News.
Now let's go over to William with Fun Fact Trivia.
Welcome to Fun Fact Trivia. My name is William. Did you know that today, September 24th, is National Punctuation Day? A period, a comma, a semicolon, a question mark, an exclamation point are all examples of the punctuation used in writing. They separate sentences and their elements to clarify meaning. Your question for today is, what does an exclamation point represent? A, someone asking a question. B, someone is speaking. C, strong feelings or excitement. You have 10 seconds to make your decision. If you said C, you are correct. Punctuation is important because sentences that do not use it are hard to read. When showing you are excited about something, we use an exclamation mark to represent that in our writing. How to observe this day. Try using every type of punctuation throughout the day, or create a collage of your favorite punctuation marks. See you next week on Fun Fact Trivia.
Now let's go over to Giuliano and Abram with Science Time.
Welcome to Science Time. My name is Giuliano.
And I'm Abram.
Young orcas have been intentionally colliding with boats off the coast of Spain. The orcas' attacks caused at least 7 boats to sink in the past 4 years.
A new study from the bottlenose dolphins research institute in Spain have found that the young orcas are not attacking boats for fun. They are doing it to improve their hunting skills. Boats must be an idea for orcas to train.
See you next week
with more Science Time.
Now let's go over to Caitlin with Word of the Week.
Welcome to Word of the Week. My name is Caitlin. This week's word is nebula. Nebula is a noun and it means a large cloud of interstellar gas or dust. In non-technical use, the word nebula also refers to a galaxy other than the Milky Way. Here's how it can be used in a sentence. We were eventually able to see the nebula through the telescope. See you next time on Word of the Week.
Now let's go over to Kyler and a special guest with Joke of the Week.
Welcome to Joke of the Week. My name is Kyla, and my guest today is Josie. What's your joke, Josie?
Why did the chicken cross the playground?
I don't know. Why did it?
To get to the other slide.
Good joke, Josie. See you next time on Joke of the Week.
That's all for this week's episode of DSN.
See you next week.